Hello and welcome to Soccer Good Games. Just finished West Ham United 0, Liverpool 5. Absolutely horrendous by West Ham. Do you know something? We got away with that. I cannot believe I'm saying this. We got beat 5-0 and we got away with it. That could have been 6, 7, 8 if Liverpool really wanted it to. The only good thing for West Ham was they treated it like a training match in the second half. And that's what made it look even more embarrassing because some of our players hadn't given up and kept on going, even though Liverpool players had given up. And even then, we still struggled to create anything. West Ham 0, Liverpool 5. Nobody's surprised. Nobody is surprised at all. Some people were predicting greater defeats than this going into this game. That's the thing I hated most going into this game. The fact that I had absolutely no hope. I didn't believe for 1 second we could even get a point out of this match. I was hoping to be proven wrong. I'm just surprised it took Liverpool so long to make it 1-0, to be honest with you. Anyway, we're going to discuss the highlights. But if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It's completely free. Only takes a couple of seconds, just like scoring against West Ham. It's pretty easy. But also do drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up. It helps out the channel. Where to start? What do we say about this team? Absolutely shite today by everybody involved. The goalkeeper to the attack is Bethlehem missing a donkey because we've got one extra stood in the dugout at the minute. I'm hoping he goes. I don't think he will, but I hope he goes. But our team, we were horrific today. We had the distribution of Hermes. We had a goalkeeper that played like he had herpes. Our defense were more open than Lily Phillips's legs. We couldn't do anything out there today. Our team was like a Scottish food, battered everywhere. 1-0 Liverpool. What was it? 30th minute, Luis Diaz made it 1-0. Truth be told, they could maybe have scored before that. Areola made a really good save from Mo Salah. So when Gakpo did that pass, I saw Salah running in. I thought, here we go, 1-0. Good save by Areola, delayed the inevitable. Diaz made it 1-0. And it was just some West Ham up. I think this goal does. We sort of half cut it out, don't cut it out. It bobbles around. And then it's a simple finish by Luis Diaz, and it's 1-0. 10 minutes later, 2-0. Cody Gakpo, ball over the top by McAllister for Sullivan, for Salah, who's a mile offside. And everybody realises it. The difference is Diaz realises it and starts running after it. Alvarez realises it and stops and then has to run after Diaz. Our entire defence know he's offside, so they all stand still, despite the fact that the ball's bounced, the whistle hasn't gone, and Diaz is running down the right-hand side. Our defence decides, you know what? Be a bit of banter. We just stand still, wouldn't it? So Diaz takes off, gives it to Salah. I don't know if he meant that touch to take it past Mavropanos. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It was a nice little touch to take it round a defender that can't defend. I don't think you even need to intend on doing that. Pokes it through to Gakpo, who puts it in the back of the net. It's 2-0 Liverpool. Let me just open my phone because there's a lot of goals to get through here. And just before half-time, it's 3-0. Salah finally gets on the score sheet. To be fair, do you know something? Salah was good today. Tell you what, he was also crap. He could have had 4 or 5. Honestly, his finishing was diabolical. I'm surprised he only got 1 today. He did only get 1. Yeah, he did. He only got 1. That's poor. He should have had 4 or 5, to be honest with you. But the goal he did get was possibly the more difficult one of his chances. We lose the ball. It's Carlos Soler. He stood on the ball. Liverpool players are closing down. He thinks, I don't need to release it. They're probably not going to tackle me. Gets tackled by McAllister. Gakpo gets it, gives it to Salah. To be fair, it's a good goal. He uses Kilman really well. Weetabix wrists, can't see it till late on, but he gets a soft hand to it just to slow the ball down from hitting the back of the net, I guess, really. It's 3-0 Liverpool now. I was going to say game over. It was game over at 0-0. It was game over before the whistle even went, to be honest with you. 3-0 Liverpool. Half-time comes round. The genius in the dugout decides, oh, there's one slight positive for West Ham in the first half. Kudus looks all right on the right-hand side, so I know what we're going to do. We're going to move him over to the left-hand side because that is genius. What else I'm going to do, I'm going to bring on the centre-back I've fallen out with, and I have to keep on bringing him on but I can't start him because I would look stupid. So I'll put him on the bench and just bring him on in every single game. So I'll finally get to take him on. We're struggling in midfield with 3 in midfield. So Salah, Paqueta and Alvarez are struggling in midfield against Liverpool. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take off a midfielder and we're going to go 2 in midfield. That's genius. Liverpool will never expect it. I'll tell you what, nobody fucking expected it because it's a stupid thing to do, and it ended up leading to Liverpool's 4th goal. We were struggling with 3 in the middle, so we decided to go 2 in the middle. Just absolutely fantastic. The one player that was looking okay, let's take him and move him to the other side of the pitch. Wonderful. Yeah, genius. Well done, Lopetegui. Nobody came up with that. I'll tell you what, nobody did come up with it because it's a dumb thing to do. But just a little bit of sprinkling on the top. We're not finished there. I know what we're going to do. Do you know the striker's been out for 4 months and he's started 2 games in less than a week? It's now the 3rd game in 8 days. I'm going to bring him on up front because Jared Bowen, who's pretty mobile, has struggled, has had no service. He's struggled to get into the game. I think the solution to that would be to bring on a less mobile player. That'll work, won't it? Yeah, nice from Lopetegui. Bring on Fulkrug just to move around up front. I mean, there wasn't much he could do at 3-0 down at half-time, but don't make us even worse. And when the team come out, oh, sounds like damage limitation. We've been doing damage limitation all season. Half-time, we are used, as West Ham fans, we're used to Lopetegui trying to fix his original fuck-ups at the start of the game at half-time. Sometimes he manages, sometimes he somehow makes it even worse. Today was one of those games where he decided, let's try and protect a 3-0 defeat by making it even easier for Liverpool to come through our team. Genius. Anyway, 4-0. Liverpool had given up at this point. They came out and they were just passing it around, to be honest with you. But 55 minutes, Alexander-Arnold scored. A little bit unfortunate for Areola. It takes a little nick off Max Kilman, but Liverpool just pass it from the left inside, one man every single time. And because we're outnumbered in midfield, Paqueta has to go over, Salah goes over, Kudus doesn't come over. So Alexander-Arnold's now in the middle of the pitch, unmarked, has all the time in the world, and skiffs Kilman's forehead and goes into the back of the net. 4-0 Liverpool, and Areola stood wondering what happened. There was no goals until the 85th minute. Nothing happened, by the way. There was no yellow cards in that game. We just got dicked by Liverpool, and no players were too bothered to put in crunchy tackles. Nobody was offended. The one game that we showed a little bit of discipline, we got beat 5-0. Jota made it 5. To be honest with you, it could have been 6 or 7 by this point. Salah just runs at our defence. He loses control of the ball, but our defence is backing off so much. He's able to regain control, give it to Jota, who does the most predictable shot in the world, but it's enough to catch out Weetabix wrists again. 5-0 Liverpool. They deserved it. Let me just shut my phone down now. That can go over there. Liverpool, listen, don't get me wrong. Liverpool are a fantastic team. They're top of the league for a reason. They're a bloody good side, and they've got fantastic players. The worst thing is, I don't think that's the worst I've seen us play today. And that's not the best I've seen Liverpool play today. They didn't have to be at their best to win 5-0 and win 5-0 comfortably. Absolutely shocking. The players looked like they'd given up. Jared Bowen went off injured. I don't believe in a month of Sundays that if that game was 0-0, Bowen goes off. He doesn't. I think he stays on and gets through that. I think he took a knock on the ankle, don't get me wrong, but I think he went off out of sheer embarrassment. And quite frankly, don't blame him for 1 second for wanting to get off that pitch. The game was done. Paqueta lost the ball and pretended he was injured because he lost the ball. No booking for Paqueta today. Uncle Bruno obviously didn't have a bit of money on it. I'll tell you why Uncle Bruno allegedly didn't have money on Paqueta being booked today. He didn't need his nephew to pick up a yellow card because he could have just put his fucking mortgage on Liverpool winning comfortably. -1 handicap, simple. Better odds for that, for Liverpool to smash West Ham today. I bet Uncle Bruno was coining it in on the Liverpool performance. Paqueta did his best to help ensure that Liverpool were to win today because he was absolutely atrocious. But he wasn't the only player. Everybody had a bad game today. Emerson looked completely confused. There was a bit of confusion when the starting 11 came out for West Ham. And credit to Hammer 1999 on the build-up show, he was correct. He said, I'll be back for Wan-Bissaka left back, Emerson ahead of him. He was right. That's how it played out. But generally, there was a little bit of confusion as to what was going on. Was it 3 at the back, 5 at the back? Was Kudus on the right, the left, up front, Jared Bowen? What was going on? When the game started, and you could see how we were lining up, Emerson continued to play like he was one of the confused fans. 1 minute he's left wing, the next minute he's in the number 10 role, then he was central mid. He was everywhere. Emerson was everywhere, but where he's meant to be. And I don't even think he had the worst game in the world. He just looked completely confused as to what the tactics were for West Ham. But credit to Lopetegui, he decided to go a bit of a 4-2-3-1 and have a pop at Liverpool. But he decided he won't play his left wing. He'll put a left wing and a right back at left back. I don't know why. To defend, obviously, so we don't get beat 7-0. Keep it 5-0. That would be a half decent result. We can move on to try and protect 13th in the Premier League. Today was an absolute shambles. And the absolute worst thing is, we've just gone 4 games unbeaten, 2 wins and 2 draws. The results are all right. Okay, I think they're okay. Beating Wolves and beating Southampton, drawn against Bournemouth and Brighton, I think they're decent results. Performances were crap, though. Results, 8 points from 12. It's all right. It's all right. But very few people, I can only speak for myself here, but I do read a lot of West Ham fans' comments. I say West Ham fan. I read a lot of Hammers Chat subscribers' comments. We have a prediction competition on Patreon. I can see what people are predicting. Sometimes people go for West Ham wins all the time, whether it's just optimism or they believe it, I don't know. But because there's some decent prizes up for grabs, signed armbands and shirts, people are trying to win this prediction competition. They want the signed prize. The predictions for this game were like 5-0, 5-1. There's people putting 6 for Liverpool, and they'll be disappointed they didn't win. There probably was somebody that predicted 6-0 with Diaz scoring the first goal. He or she's missed out, haven't they? Salah, blame Salah, their fault. But we went 4 games unbeaten. And match by match, the confidence going into the next game actually decreased. We beat Wolves and felt less confident going into the next game. Got a decent draw away to Bournemouth and felt on par going into the next game against Brighton. We drew Brighton and felt less confident going into the next game against Southampton. We beat Southampton and felt even less confident coming into today's game. It sums up West Ham, I say at the minute, all season. I believe today is the 8th game we've conceded at least 3 goals this season. This team cannot defend and cannot create chances. Doing one is bad. Doing both is a horrific combination, and you are not going to succeed. A month ago, whenever it was, we played Leicester City. 4 weeks ago, we played Leicester. After that, we got smashed. Sullivan, the board had a meeting to decide where to sack Lopetegui. At that point, when you do that, you've decided this guy needs to be sacked. You don't have a board meeting to decide to sack someone if you don't think he should be sacked. You gave him a cup final. He won it. It came out yesterday or today that the board still aren't convinced by Lopetegui. He went to David Sullivan in the crowd. He didn't look too happy. Good, because this is what we've been seeing all season. This is not a one-off. It's not a one-off. It's not a fluke. The fluke today is that we only conceded 5. That's how bad it is. I'm pissed off, but there's a cap to my anger at the minute because of life, because of what's happened in my own life in the last couple of weeks, because before today's game, we've seen Ludo come to the pitch. This is a bloke who's decided to give up treatment on cancer and just enjoy the rest of his life. You get reminders that there's more to life than football. But my word, West Ham need to act now. Sullivan needs to act now, because we're away to play Man City, one of the most out of form. I know they won today against Leicester, but Leicester gave it a good go. They are one of the out of form teams in the Premier League. Anyone playing Man City at the minute should fancy their chances. I do not. I think this is where City possibly turn their season around and slap someone 5-6-0 and start going on a little winning run. We are the team that you want to play right now. We are that side. Horrific out there. Individual performers. I don't think Areola was great. Had a couple of good saves, but I think he could have done better for some goals. I think Wan-Bissaka, full of energy, distribution was absolutely pathetic. The centre backs, Mavropanos, you just honestly, I would not trust that guy with anything in the world. You'd give him just a cup to hold, he would drop it. You cannot trust him. Kilman tried. Emerson, I thought he tried. I thought he had a difficult role for him. He did his best, but he just wasn't very good. The midfield was piss. So Alvarez ran around looking busy, but just dragged out of position constantly. Diaz for the goal, was it his goal? He's just there. He just stood in space in between our midfield and defence. There's no one around him. No one marking him. No one has a Scooby. That's technically Liverpool's striker. So Mavropanos should really be the one looking after him there. But there's just nobody. He's not doing it. Alvarez, nobody's marking him whatsoever. Salah was crap. All this talk of spending 20 million. He's had a handful of decent games. Chill. Judge it at the end of the season. There's a long way to go yet. Paqueta did more for Liverpool than West Ham. One of the most embarrassing things about today's game, I thought for the last 20 minutes, Liverpool had given up. Somerville come on, and he was trying. He was trying his best, and it was a bit difficult to watch. We've all played in a team. We've all played football in a team where there's a crap player, and he just tries, and it's difficult to watch him because you know he's away get tackled pretty soon because he's crap, but yeah, he keeps on going. And it was a bit like that watching us. And Kudus and Paqueta started doing these 3, 4, 5, 6 passes together as if we're winning 4-0 at the time. And Paqueta lost it to fair tackle and decided to roll around. Mate, give it up. Stop it. Kudus, I thought he was all right. I thought he did well in the first half. Got moved out of position, went back over because Bowen went off. I thought he tried. Playing for the move away maybe, but I thought he tried. Bowen struggled today. Really struggled. As for Lopetegui, the guy can't set us up. The guy can't organise anything. He would go into a brothel and struggle to get a cuddle at the minute. It's time to just... It's not even an experiment. I was ready to say it's time to end this experiment. It's not. It's time to stop kicking the can down the road, delaying the inevitable. The players aren't doing enough, okay? The players aren't doing enough. This isn't just Lopetegui. It's the players as well. But from the start of the season, we've been crap. Tactically, we've been crap. Our defence has got worse. Our attacks got worse. The players that were performing last season aren't performing this season. The new signings, 1 or 2 of them are performing. That is it. We brought in 10 players, 9 if you don't include Mohamed Conte, which is fine. It's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. Felt a bit sorry for Kudus out there. Some players tried hard, but others just didn't look like they cared. And not good enough for West Ham. Not good enough for Lopetegui. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear. It's just, to sum it up, simply not good enough from anyone involved. And this is where it goes so far. I stop blaming Lopetegui and start blaming Sullivan and saying, well, you're allowing this to happen. You've hid behind the last few results. And it's come out that the board aren't happy. I feel like it's just a little bit of this. You're just playing to the audience. You're just trying to keep the fan base on side. I don't think they'll sack him. I think they should, but I don't think they will. But this result is not a surprise to West Ham fans. We all seen it coming. 4 games unbeaten, 2 wins, 2 draws. It was barely papering over the crack. The cracks were still showing. We could all see them. It's just that the teams we came up against didn't really take advantage of how poor we were. They weren't clinical. We got off with it in 4 games in a row, basically. We didn't deserve to pick up the points that we did. We deserve to get slapped today. Well done, Liverpool. We might have just played the team that goes on to win the Premier League, and they're firm favourites for it now. Fantastic team. But you don't have to make it easy because of a fantastic team. I think that's what we did today. No bookings. We just got dicked 5-0. Not one player decided, I'm going to grab this game by the scruff of the neck or anything like that. Manager set his team out wrong and made it even worse at half-time. Pathetic. He's got to go. I'm going to go. before you go, please drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up, subscribing to Hammers Chat. Normal service has resumed, and I don't just mean at West Ham, I mean at Hammers Chat because of life. So tomorrow morning, 9 a.m, it will be the debrief show. So if you're kicking around tomorrow at 9 a.m, please come and join me on the channel. Have your say in the live chat, and we'll get your comments up on the screen. Anyway, thank you very much. Catch you in a bit.